Hey guys, Jet888 here. It's 7:25. It's so July 25th today. I'm gonna ask for some clarity here. Text HJ Res 104-102 was 102nd Congress. This is 1991-92. This is a resolution, or let's see, that came into law here, a statute that became law in 1991, a joint resolution to designate March 26, 1991 as Education Day, U.S.A. Now notice how the U.S.A. of course is capitalized, that's corporate, but I'm seeing that these days change from year to year. And another word for this Education Day USA, from what I'm seeing, is also Noahide Laws. Now this Education Day was in honor of Rabbi Menachem, Mendel, Schneerson. And the thing is that I looked at regarding rabbi, the word rabbi, it says literally it's a person trained in Jewish law, ritual, and tradition, and is ordained, is literally my master. So you have a rabbi who is your master, and he's the leader of the Lubavitch movement. And if you go to the, how do you say that, Shabbat Lubavitch headquarters, here's Tuesday the 26th. That's weird. How are we getting there? This is a day ahead, I guess. What's going on? Because according to my calendar it's the 25th. But here, just for instance, it has this little kids roll up their sleeves and learn Judaism at New J Crafts Center in Southern Maryland. Jewish kids are having a blast in learning Judaism at Rabbi Levi's Raskin's Immersive Educational Center. Lubavitch International. Look, it just shows here. It's global. It's the Lubavitch Global Network. Lubavitch International. Look at the little thing over his head. Interesting. I guess we're getting kind of used to that with all the masks, huh? We've been sort of slowly introduced into that. Okay, so this says down below. Now they're going off of his birthday, March 26th, but I've seen other dates, so I'll have to look at that a little bit later. Whereas the tribute to this great spiritual leader, the Rabbi, this his 90th year will be seen as one of education and giving, the year in which we turn to education and charity. Charity, you got that right. We've given what, $56 billion to Ukraine, so that's good. So to return the world to the moral and ethical values contained in the seven. That's why we're seeing the number 7 so much. 7 Noahide Laws. So it is the Noahide Laws. And this is all good and well as far as the moral part of it. It's just what happens when you're being punished with these Noahide Laws in check here. You literally, you get your hands chopped off. The punishment is pretty harsh. Everything I'm seeing is starting to look like it's leaning this way in the United States of America. So this says, resolved by the Senate and its House of Representatives of the United States of America in Congress assembled that March 26, 1991, the start of the 90th year of the Rabbi Menachem Schneerson, sorry about that, leader of the worldwide Lubavitch movement, is designated as Education Day USA. The President is requested to issue a proclamation calling upon the people of the United States to observe such day with appropriate ceremonies and activities. Did you all know this? So this is at the very bottom of this document, March 7th, considered and passed Senate. Now I have an article here. It states that April 7th, 2017 is as Education and Sharing Day USA. That's the same thing. It's at the Shabbat Shabbat.org, they have this article here that President Trump marks Education Day. Okay, so here's this article at Shabbat.org. President Trump marks Education Day for Rabbi, that's the rabbis, I guess, date of birth. And that's designation April 7th, 2017. It's interesting though, because they keep changing his birthday. It's kind of weird. And back in the 90s, he was 90th. So honor the 115th anniversary of the birth of Rabbi Menachem Schneerson. So they're saying April 7th. But they're saying right here on this Public Law 1.2, this other official document I showed you, they're saying that March 26th is when his birthday falls. So we're getting weird stories. March 26th. Here they're calling for April 7th. Same guy, different face. So it began in 1978 with President Jimmy Carter and has been carried out by subsequent presidents ever since. Education Sharing Day recognizes the remarkable efforts of Rabbi Menachem, Mendel, Schneerson, the Lubavitcher Rabbi, the use of values-based in education to drive our nation's children towards the American dream. Not the Jewish dream, but the American dream, really. Okay. So as an educator, Rabbi Schneerson understood that education is incomplete if it is devoid of moral development. I agree with that too, but the punishment is very interesting. Now here's another link. April 16th, 2019 is Education and Sharing Day U.S.A. and I'll show you that one too. So you got 17 and 19. 2019. So it's interesting too. So you look at Noahide and gematria just because I'm curious about it. 1038. 1038 is also an eye for an eye, and that's about it. That's about what it's like. So Hebrew Bible is also 1038. And it's also yellow. So maybe that's why we're starting to see a lot of yellow coding this last year or so. You see yellow in movies. You saw the yellow ribbon around the old oak tree I just covered. Anyhow, that's interesting. This is 92 in simple gematria. So here I just looked at the plural Noahide Laws because there are 7 of them. So you've got the 111, 666, and 1128. So that's why we're seeing a lot of those numbers. Well, what an interesting coincidence. Still going. Interesting, huh? Wow, this must just all be a coincidence, though. So this guy right here, Representative Robert H. Mitchell, he was in 1923 to 2017 is his, I guess, life. He was Republican Party. House is Illinois, District 18. He was the one that introduced this H.R. 44. That's probably why we see the number 44 quite a bit. 44, 103rd Congress. He's the one that introduced us to award a congressional gold medal to Rabbi Menachem Mendel Schneerson. Co-conspirators. Co-sponsors. What's that say? 224. Wow, there's 224 of them? No, that can't be that. Oh, sponsor, Rep. Schumer, Charles E. Schumer. Oh, committees, House Banking, Finance and Urban Affairs. Latest action, 1102, 1994. Too bad they didn't make it one day. I bet that was a Sunday, the 1101. Passed House, became law. Passed, I'll send you this too. Sorry about the jumping around. Let's click this and open it. Now remember, Rabbi literally means my master. Interesting too, this title is also given to Jewish doctors out of respect. I'll share this link, and this says this states that no appropriations are authorized to implement this act. I guess that's good. Declares that the medals struck pursuant to this act are national medals. Yep, so it looks like Biden also declared Rabbi's birthday as Education Day, U.S.A. Let's go check this out. Let's go see. Oh yeah, and do you think this is kind of interesting? The 102nd Congress is like the event 201, if you flip that around. I wonder if that started things. Okay, so this was 3 years ago. This is President Trump, marks Education Day. And there he is, signing basically the Noahide Laws. Oh. The Rabbi's birthday is again officially a day. How many different birthdays does he have, though? Note for American citizens, President Donald Trump signed a proclamation declaring April 16th, 2019, corresponding to the 11th day of the Hebrew month of Nisan, as Education and Sharing Day, U.S.A. So here this is at anash.org. And you know what? That date, March 23rd, is the second time it's come up. So that would be 323. Proclamation on Education Sharing Day, again, so 323. And this is Jewish gematria, so Lucifer. It's also as Satan, as the last two letters, you put it in front. And isn't that weird how he made his little debut here? Wow, neither one of those are good. So here's President Biden signing the Proclamation on Education Sharing Day, U.S.A. Honored the Rabbi's birthday on Yud Aleph Nisan by declaring it to be Education and Sharing Day, U.S.A. Let's see, following the example of a long string of Republican and Democratic presidents since 1978. See, they're all in it together. And he signed this March 23rd, 2021. And here's his proclamation, and I'll put this in the, but it's the same Rabbi, I'll put it in the description box. He mentions the global pandemic, which I don't think it would have affected, well, the people, the worst effect, I think, is by what the governments did. The American Rescue Plan, because we need to be rescued. Oh, wow. In this rescue plan, it says it also includes $130 billion to help schools in every community reopen safely, to be re-educated by your new little Noahide plans, by your Education Sharing Day, U.S.A. plans. So he calls on us to celebrate. He calls upon all government officials, educators, volunteers, and all the people of the United States to observe this day with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities. What's appropriate, I wonder? Please outline it for us. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand this 23rd day of March in the year of our Lord. Whose Lord is he talking about, I wonder? Which Lord? 2021. You know what? And remember this guy? Do you remember his day of inauguration? If you're talking about our Lord. Okay, so here he is at his inauguration. It's the first time that first ever youth poet laureate who recited a poem at inauguration of President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, said the purpose of her poetry is not to provide hope, but to show the power of words. Got that right, power of words. And what is this? Look at this. They're letting out a bunch of, looks like crows or something, flying at night. Birds usually don't fly at night, but that looks like that's on fire. That's an obelisk looking like it's on fire, blinking at the top. Here's Vice President Harris on January 20th. She says, "We will rise up." And there she is. And interesting here to celebrate, they're already talking about the food shortage and hunger crisis. So talk about predictive programming, letting you know what's coming. World Central Kitchen. Hunger crisis in America. You haven't seen anything yet. Now they do show there's Kamala and Biden. They are in church, not touching anything. Kamala, she fist pumped Obama there. Now this is interesting. She's being sworn in and she has her hands on, there's 2 books there. I can't see what they are, but they're 2 books. That guy's not touching them. And this thing behind Biden, January 20th, 21, that's not a Bible, or if it is, it's a box. And here's Biden, sworn as the 46th president, and his hand is on a box. Those aren't pages, that's a box. So you know what they say, who can't touch the Bible? So also April 11th, President Biden declares Rabbi's birthday as Education Day also. So April 11th, I guess I have to do it every year, which he did. April 11th, this is the same page, April 11th, anash.org. So here's more, and I'll leave this link too. You can Google it, it's really easy to find it. So especially they're really after the children, so they ensure that their children are provided every opportunity to learn and grow. And my administration provided resources through the American Rescue Plan. So you're in the mindset that you're being rescued. That's the first problem. For schools to safely open for person instruction. Or I guess for in-person instruction. Down here, make schools available to every 3- and 4-year-old in America. And come to school available. So isn't that interesting? They're after them. But how many different birthdays does this guy have? I mean, now it's April 12th. Isn't that just weird? All right, sending you these links. So these are the 7 Noahide Laws, universal morality. So they want everyone to have the same morals, which, you know, I do agree with being, you do no harm, basically. So do not profane GD's oneness in any way. So you have to watch your speech there. Do not curse your creator, so you gotta watch your speech there. Do not murder. What if you, does it say anything about self-protection? Do not eat a limb of a still living animal. I can agree with that. Do not steal. I agree with that. Harness and channel the human libido. Okay, so hear that, everybody? And establish courts of law to ensure justice in our world. I wonder what kind of justice we're talking about. So again, why are the Noahide Laws especially important today? And again, they bring up this guy's name, Rabbi Menachem, so, and his teaching. So is he like a prophet? I mean, why are they called Noahide Laws? Okay, so we're all descendants of Noah because we all survived the flood, our ancestors did. So all people today are Noahides. Noahides, because Noah and then Ides. What's that? Noah's sides. Okay, so here's Noahides. The anagram is adhesion. Adhesion is the tendency of dissimilar particles or surfaces to cling to one another. Look at the picture they show. It's a spider web with water droplets, dewdrops adhering to a spider web. Another anagram can be hide a sun. Could they mean it this way? In the video I did earlier today, I looked at this 56, and it was dealing with a Microsoft article 56, and I wondered why they had two ISIS, is, instead of ISIS. One last thing, looking at Noahide Laws, the anagram is alien shadow. I haven't looked deep into this, but it's time to go. So, anyhow, we know who's running the show soon, I think. Looking at that, when they say words matter, look at the anagram for KamaIa's name. KamaIa Devi Harris is Sharia Devil Karma or a Sharia Devil Mark. That's sort of strange. Okay, guys. Well, talk to you later. Oh, and I think I showed this, but Noahide Laws, same in the Jewish gematria, which these people are into the gematria. What does that mean? Oh, I guess I should show this real quick. The question of capital punishment under the Noahide Code was discussed in the Talmud. It was decided that all 7 Noahide laws, and I know this way we're seeing the number 7 lately, all 7 Noahide laws are capital crimes. Under Noahide law, one may be executed based on the testimony of one witness or a confession. One witness. So you better not have any enemies. And without a prior warning, too. According to one opinion, a criminal might be executed under Noahide law based upon circumstantial evidence. And this, according to Maimonides, I don't know how to say that, non-Jewish are required to establish a judicial system and apply the Noahide law, including the imposition of capital punishment. It would appear then that the American courts might be required under Noahide law to impose capital punishment for the violation of any one of the 7 Noahide laws based upon one witness testimony, circumstantial evidence, or a defendant's confession. This also talks about the imposition of capital punishment by non-Jewish state under the principle of Dina de Malchuta Dina does not require the application of strict evidentiary and procedural rules as in Jewish law. This says the people's implied consent to the state's authority or the power of the state to expel disobedient inhabitants applies to everyone. The restrictions in Jewish law on the execution of criminals delineated by Rabbi Feinstein, is that the same senator, are limited to trials conducted according to biblical law. Now we have kings, as in like the ray, the corona. A Jewish king, however, is not subject to these restrictions and may execute criminals more easily than a Jewish court. So for anyone who doesn't know, capital punishment, also known as the death penalty. Okay, I've got to wrap it up here, guys. Take care. Maybe we should follow up on Noahide laws because they're being applied to our country.